Welcome back everyone to another ESO video. Today is on the PTS, High Isle PTS Week 4. And if you've seen the forums already, you will know full well that Combustion has been completely gutted in comparison to what it already is on the live server and last week on PTS, for good reason. Basically, over the longest time ever, base game mechanics have been ignored by lots of people, i.e. heavy attacks, potions, recovery, buffs, bonuses, etc, etc. Yes, of course, I know people love it on the dummy and they like to cheese it with certain foods. Everybody does that. But when it comes to content, people really struggle with their resources. And that is because of many different contributing factors. One, they may not be building for any recovery whatsoever. Two, they're not paying attention to heavy attacks during off-balance situations where you get double resources back. And three, quite frankly, they might be just over-spamming their skills unnecessarily and running out of juice and wondering where it's gone. You can build for recovery, but the Dragonknight over the last few patches has been made extremely easy to maintain your sustainability, if you like, even if you're a really lazy player and just like to spam abilities and hope for the best. Well, how that used to work was Combustion was a passive in the Ardent Flame skill line where you would gain back 1000 magicka or 1000 stamina, depending on whether you applied a status effect or not from burning or poison. Burning meaning fire damage, applying a status effect, give you 1k magicka back. Poison, obviously poison. Status effect increases stamina, of course. But that was on a 0.5 second cooldown. So if you had any form of status increase via your champion points or by your traits on your weapons or anything like that, and of course one of the new sets as well, which does increase status on target, then it was very easy to beat that 0.5 second cooldown and basically get 6k over 3 seconds. Technically 2k over 1 second, making your recovery, because recovery is calculated every 2 seconds, 2k recovery for any of those resources on top of what you may already have over other classes. Well, they took that away. We've still got the passive, but they've absolutely nuked it, and not lightly either. Now, just bear in mind, of course, if you're an experienced Dragonknight, this isn't going to be a problem for you. If you're not experienced, or you just somewhat get carried by the oversaturated recovery bonuses we get from status effects already, you might struggle a little bit. Anyway, let's get to the point. Combustion has been changed. It does still increase the damage of your poison and burning status effects, so we still do have those two status effects being the strongest possible on the Dragonknight versus any other class in the game. So we do still do more damage from that. We do still get 1k magicka back from burning status effects when they're applied, and we do still get 1k stamina back from poison status effects when they're applied. But the 0.5 second cooldown has gone. So instead of 2k, if you're lucky, every 1 second, instead of 6k every 3 seconds, you now get 1k every 3, making that 3 stamina or magicka back, depending on the status effect, every second. That has been reduced by dividing it by 6. That is feckin' mental. That means effectively, over a long period of time, if you consider this as recovery, because recovery is calculated every 2 seconds, technically, we now have 666, excluding decimals, recovery, indefinitely if you can maintain your status effects on cooldown. Which is bloody high, flat out, but before, that effective recovery was 4k. It was way too heavy. 4k back every 2 seconds was over the top. And this is how it's been affected. So the video I put up recently about what the hell did it do to Zan, that basically allowed us to get a burning status effect every 1 second. And if you are using an ice staff, as you can see here, we are getting recovery, obviously. Look at my bar, recovery. But if you block with an ice staff, because it's a tanky weapon, no recovery. So I basically demonstrated that, and I showed you how you can get 20k back in no time whatsoever. But if we make this apply, we're trying to anyway. Come on. Would be nice. There we go. Now watch. Watch my bar. It does still recover. Under block from ice stuff. It does still give us 1k back per burning status effect reapplication, but the cooldown is quite a difference. It's once every 3 seconds instead of once every 0.5 seconds. Now, the same applies to the poison stuff as well. We've got a poison glyph on the back bar here just for demonstration purposes, so that can fire off of our ground-based AoE, i.e. volley. Now we're just going to press this a couple times to lose some stamina. If you're using any other weapon other than ice stuff, no stamina recovery while blocking. soon as it lands, you've got one back straight away. And every 3 seconds, if you're lucky, as long as it fires, which is luck-based, then you'll get 1k back. But as you can see, that's a substantial drop there, because that one glyph, which has got a high status chance, didn't fire that much. In fact, only once. So we do that again. Hold block. We've got one almost instantly. There you go. 3, 2, 1 should be another one. Nope. Really rare. You've got to have that status chance either on your weapon or in your group. But here's something that didn't go away. While you're getting burn-in status effects to give you back magicka, you can utilize Eruption, because that gets channeled or cast resource taken away once a second rather than insta-cast. So what you can do is you can still take advantage of your Earth and Heart passive, which are still broken as hell, and you can get this, which is 990 stamina back every time you cast an Earth and Heart ability. So this has 1 second cooldown, technically, because of the global cooldown of skills. You can't fire them any faster than 1 second apart. Now, while you could build for poison status effects, and you could still get 1k back every 3 seconds, technically, this gives us almost 1k back every 1 second if you were to spam an ability of this skill line that didn't cost stamina. So, on the magicka side of things, we do have a bit of an issue. We are somewhat down, but on the stamina side of things, we're not, because all you really need to do is this. Watch my stamina bar. I'm not relying just on the poison status effect. I'm going to do this. I'm blocking. Look at my bar. Oh no, I can't sustain. Any Earth and Heart ability that isn't a stamina costing one will give you that back. Now, you could argue that it nukes your magicka. Well, it doesn't. That channels and steals magicka from you every 1 second. 3, 4, 0 every 1 second. Burn-in status effects, if they're on cooldown permanently, which you could still maintain, is going to give you 3, 3, 3 effectively back every 1 second. So we're only 7 down on our recovery if you're built for full light, which means, technically speaking, on top of the rest of your recovery and all your skills you fire and everything like that, to maintain this, all you need to do is apply a burn-in status effect and find 7 recovery. You can have that forever. You can get stand back from it. It's great. And on the magicka side of things, if you do want to spam abilities and you do feel like the burn-in status effect isn't enough for you, while Earth and Heart abilities maintain your stamina a lot more efficiently, don't forget, as in every single burn video, which is a magicka DK build of mine, I teach you about this. Yes, you can use that as a single target spammable. Yes, you can use it to proc your backflip whip every 3 chains. And yes, that is free as long as the enemy cannot be chained. So if they are CC'd or a boss or a mini boss or whatever, can't be chained, it gives you the magicka back. So all you've got to do is maintain this in order to maintain this and your stam abilities. So while it's not the end of the fucking world, that was a dramatic chunk taken off of the strength of this. But quite frankly, there aren't really any other abilities in the game that will give you 2k back every 1 second flat out on top of other passives anyway. So that was already way too strong. Over 3 seconds, 6k is now 1. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is it doom and gloom? Is it over for the DK, or can you adapt? Thank you very much for watching. I hugely appreciate your support. And if you're not subscribing, of course, do hit that button. It is free. And the thing that's not free is there's a new feature on YouTube. There's a thanks button underneath. Yes, that's right. There's a donation button on YouTube now. So that button obviously is there to help support the channel and allow me to keep doing this for a living. So if you want to help support, there it is. If not, just keep watching. The videos are free anyway. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.